In Killarney this weekend, Sinn Féin Ard-Fheis fully exploited the discomfiture of the coalition at having to swallow hard on the Troika's economic medicine. On Irish unity, their cherished aim, the language was much more about unionists in than about Brits out. Micheál Lehane reports on the long, tough slog involved in building support for Sinn Féin at ground level.
In the sunshine, the mood was light and upbeat around this conference, but the subjects under discussion were quite the opposite.
Friends, this Ard-Fheis meets at a time of very great hardship for people. And indeed, all of us delegates gathered here know at first hand the consequences of the policies pursued by the last Fianna Fáil administration and now enthusiastically pursued by Labour and Fine Gael in government.
This all makes for politically fertile ground for Sinn Féin, who are now the second most popular party. The latest opinion polls this weekend estimate their support at 19% and 20%.
I think the fact that it's here is historical for Sinn Féin to have the Ard-Fheis here in Killarney, first time down south. You know, huge amounts of membership, huge people inquiring, a lot of media. You know, it's great.
We've outclassed Fianna Fáil and Labour, and we are heading to be the biggest party in the country.
In many, many areas where Sinn Féin would have been very weak in the past, I think we would improve greatly. I think the vote is there for people who realise that, you know, change is imminent, and I think Sinn Féin are the people that are at the head of that change.
While policy has been developed at celebratory set-piece events like this one, the real work in building the party has been done in towns up and down the country. Like here in Nina, where the local 47-year-old Sinn Féin councillor is holding one of his regular meetings with a hotel manager to discuss the town's ambitious sports tourist initiative.
Well, again, the sports tourism grant scheme came because of the fantastic sports clubs and volunteers that we have here. And
Seamus Morris has run in the last two general elections, recording over 6% of the first preference votes the last time.
Well, the one thing that you'll find about Sinn Féin or Sinn Féin candidates is that we'll never be overnight sensations. There is a slow process of building up trusted people and building up, you know, an air of people believing in that you can do something for them. That takes time, and it probably takes time for any politician to do that. You know, I mean, I look at the polls, but I don't see, you know, 20% of voters out there that will vote for me tomorrow. It's all to do with hard work and recognition. You know, I'm in rural Ireland here. People won't vote for you unless they know you.
That's the familiar story for a party whose increase in support hasn't matched what they have recorded in opinion polls previously.
We came in with 14 TDs in the last general election. We almost took 10%. Then Martin McGuinness took around 13.5% in the presidential election. So it's all new ground, new territory. But I think we are now starting to win people in that lower to middle income bracket, small businesses, small farmers. That's a key area that we wish to contest with Labour and Fianna Fáil particularly.
Through our work and with the people's support, we have made Sinn Féin a party of government in the north, and in the south we have made massive strides forward.
But being in government in the north means Sinn Féin are part of an administration making unpopular cuts.
Part of what's been happening is top slicing all grants and not doing it in a strategic way, so just cutting 3% or 5% or 10% or 15%, rather than looking at where cuts are going to have the biggest impact and trying to avoid disadvantaging the most vulnerable people. So I think there hasn't been maybe as much thought has gone into it as should have been.
In the south, though, detailing the effects of the economic difficulties is something Sinn Féin has done well.
Swanland Bar GAA, one of many clubs in West Cavan, unable to field a team. Leitrim, a county team ravaged by emigration and outward migration.
Tapping into people's anger will give Sinn Féin more prominence, but the challenge remains to convert this into electoral success.